Mm-hmm. Donald Trump has completely gutted the Department of Justice section charged with securing elections, The Guardian reported Monday. In January, there were 7 top career managers overseeing the voting section of the Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division, which is charged with enforcing federal laws protecting voter registration. As of this week, all of them are gone. Last week, 5 of them were reassigned to the Complaint Adjudication Office, which handles employee complaints, alongside Tamar Hagler, who had served as the chief of the voting section office, and another career attorney. Of the two remaining managers, one was reassigned to an anti Semitism task force, and the other retired. These removals are part of a wider reshuffling in the Justice Department, as experienced career officials are reassigned to low level duties, shifted towards the priorities of the Trump administration, or elect to take buyouts. That's because they didn't choose a career of civil service to bow to an idiot who cosplays a Mandarin. Top appointees at the DOJ also instructed career employees in the voting section to dismiss all remaining active cases, but did not provide a rationale for their dismissal and did not meet with the attorneys. The section's final active case was dismissed last Monday. But I thought you had all these concerns about voting. Drumpf. Maybe because you know who was trying to defraud the voting systems. This is what you do when you don't really know what the section does and just want to create chaos in the simplest way possible that doesn't involve you reading anything. Well, we know he doesn't read because he really. Anywho. One former voting section attorney told The Guardian, it is extremely clear that the intent is to get absolutely nothing done, and the effect will be the absolutely nothing gets done. And unfortunately, we already know what happens when you try to have a skeleton crew government, especially on the federal level, and when the government spends all its time making sure no one can do anything and going on witch hunts. We were just getting back on track, aka getting back to square one, before this shit took place. Y'all remember the Red Scare, McCarthyism, the China Hands incident? The moves comes just weeks after Harmeet Dillon was confirmed to lead the Civil Rights Division. A staunch Trump ally, Dillon defended several election deniers in court and was widely expected to go after civil rights and diversity achievements. Trump's demolition of the DOJ's voting section represents a victory for election deniers and far-right groups. Cleta Mitchell, a far-right activist with the ear of the president, called for every lawyer in the voting section to be terminated in a post on X after Trump was elected in November. They are not supportive of President Trump or MAGA. There has to be a reckoning. These are left-wing activists who have come from and should return to their left-wing organizations, she wrote. Patriotism is about the country as a whole, what's best for the populace, not what's best for the orange sponge here. The American Accountability Foundation, a dark money witch hunt cadre, sent a letter to then Attorney General nominee Pam Bondi in December, specifically asking her to gut the DOJ's voting section. You have to wonder why so many people are obsessed with this section. These people are woke radical leftists and donors who have no place in the Department of Justice, the group wrote in the letter signed by Thomas Jones, AAF's president. In order to restore the American people's trust in election integrity and neutral civil service, they must be fired and replaced with America First attorneys who will execute on the agenda the American people voted for in November. The projection and the admissions in that statement alone. But let's continue. Let's finish this up. The Trump administration's meddling at the Department of Justice is part of a wider scheme to undermine any election he is likely to lose. He has no more elections to run for. Unless you're talking about the election he's currently running for to the lower deck to sit next to Lucifer, allegedly. A federal judge ruled Thursday to block parts of Trump's executive order last month attempting to overhaul elections and voting processes. Who is he trying to get installed? Or who is the Heritage Foundation trying to get installed? Inquiring minds would like to know.